Demps on the move. Step back jumper in the air.
Oh.
Good again.
Oh.
He hits another one.
Dirty.
Cats up by 7. And the Cats pick up their first Big Ten road victory of the Chris Collins era. The Wildcats beat the Indiana Hoosiers here at Assembly Hall for just the 3rd time ever.
May have been the first Big Ten road win for Chris Collins. Certainly wasn't the last. In fact, Northwestern would go on to win 3 straight on the road against conference opponents for the first time since 1960. In the postseason, picking up a win in the Big Ten tournament, which we already discussed against Iowa. Finished 3rd in the Big Ten in scoring and field goal defense. And of course, Drew Crawford, who came back to play one final season, finishing with the 2nd most points in Northwestern history. Back on a BTN Live set, Rick Pizzo, Stephen Bardo, joined once again by the head coach of the Wildcats, Chris Collins. Chris, we talked all year long about perhaps changing the culture at Northwestern, convincing fans, alums, and of course the players that this could be consistently a winning program. What's the first and most important step in doing that?
Well, I think it starts with the senior leadership, the older guys in the program. My first thing I tried to do was obviously getting Drew Crawford to stay on board. He had an opportunity to leave as a 5th-year guy, and for him to stay and want to be a part of a new regime, a whole new start, I think that was a great first step. And for he and I to kind of lead the team together, he was a great bridge for me to understand more about what I was coming into and for them to get to know me as a coach. And it took us a while. I mean, we had our ups and downs, and it took us probably into the Big Ten season to kind of figure out how we could be successful, how we needed to play. And then once we did, the last 2 months of the season were great. I mean, our guys, we were competitive pretty much every night. We learned to become a scrappy, blue-collar defensive team. We gave ourselves a chance to win almost every game, and we won our share. And I came into the year not putting a number of wins on this season. We have to win 8 or we have to win 10. Or it was more about setting the foundation, like you said, and building a program. And because I want it to be sustainable. You don't want it to be just one team that wins. It's about trying to build a program where year in and year out you can be successful.
Chris, you got a team that was so accustomed to a very particular style of play. And you said it took you a while to get those guys to play the style that you wanted to play. But in my estimation, they got it a lot quicker than a lot of us expected. How were you able to get them to play your style so quickly, coming from such a diverse system?
Well, I think what I tried to do is a little give and take. I didn't want to come in and just like, this is the way we're going to do things. I wanted to get to know the guys and play to their strengths also. Right. I mean, I think to me, the essence of coaching is taking the guys you have and figuring out how you can be successful with them and not being so stubborn that you have to play a certain way. And for us, we kind of came about once we got in the league. We got our teeth kicked in a little bit the first 3 games. We played Iowa, we played Wisconsin, we played Michigan right off the bat. And I think it was a wake-up call for all of us, for me, for our guys. And we got together and we said, you know what, we want to make something of this year, but we're going to have to do it a certain way. We're going to have to be a great defensive team. We're going to have to value our possessions a little bit, try to keep the scores down, and give ourselves a chance to win down the stretch. And we all kind of made a commitment to each other in a team meeting to doing that. And like you said, everyone bought in. And that very next game, I think to have some success, we were able to beat Illinois in that 4th game. And it was a 49-43 game. It was a grinder, a defensive battle, and we were able to win. And I think it gave our guys a lot of confidence that, you know what, maybe we can be successful this way. And we carried that through. And I give our guys a lot of credit because they all bought in, and we made something out of our year, and it was a fun journey.
Chris, more so than ever, probably in the history of the sport, long-term success in college basketball really depends on recruiting success of high school guys before they've played a single bounce of the ball at the college level. Around Chicago, we're hearing a lot about the name Vic Law headed to Northwestern and some other guys. How are you feeling about the recruiting process? I know you're kind of just getting started and getting your feet wet. It takes 2 or 3 years to get a full cycle in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the recruiting is the lifeblood of every program. I mean, you need good players. It doesn't matter how good of a coach you are. You're not going to win if you don't have good players. And I think it's important for us to kind of figure out the guys that fit what we're trying to do, fit what we're about. And it's important for me to keep kids at home. I mean, I want local guys to take pride in the fact that there's a great option to be able to stay home, go to a great school, play in the Big Ten, and have a chance to compete against the best and be successful against the best. And, that's what we're trying to do. And obviously we're just getting started. It's a long journey, and there's a lot of great schools out there, but we just feel there's a niche, what we have, where we are, the league we play in, the type of school we have, that we can get a good group of guys and we can be successful. And I'm excited about our future. We have some good guys coming in with what we're returning, and it's a process. And I've had to tell myself that, because as a coach, you're never the most patient guy.
Right.
You want everything now, but you have to take pride in the small victories. And I feel like our program's on the right track, and I'm excited about our future.
You talked about recruiting. You talked about keeping kids home. You're in a hotbed in Chicago. Is there a way to get CPS to understand what a crown jewel that is in Northwestern, in terms of that being a destination as opposed to going other places and trying to stay home?
I agree. I mean, I definitely think so. I mean, I feel like our city, our state has as much talent as anywhere in the country. And, we should want kids to stay home. And there are great options everywhere. There's great schools everywhere. But to have a great academic school right in your backyard, especially kids, in the city, in the public league, to be able to be around family, have that academic component, play at the highest level. And it's on us. It's on my staff. It's on me. We got to be out. We have to be visible. They got to get to know us. They have to have more access to our school, to come out, to visit, to see what we have. And, that's the only way. It's about relationships.
Right.
You know that. And, it's on me and to get out there and develop those relationships and hopefully show what we have to offer.
Chris, before we let you go, Steve and I are headed down to Indy for the regional this weekend. Not only Michigan, but we got Louisville and Kentucky. You're more than welcome to tag along if you haven't seen enough basketball already this year.
I think I'll just watch it at home. I'll get on the couch. I love listening to you guys, so I'd rather just put on the TV and listen to you guys analyze it at the best.
Listen to the diplomatic answer.
Yeah,
Even getting a compliment in there to make sure that we just move away from the fact that the answer was a no. You guys just go ahead and enjoy yourself. Chris Collins, Northwestern basketball head coach. Thanks as always for the time. Great to see you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.